Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to go over one of the new commanders introduced in Commander 2020, Xyris the Writhing Storm. Xyris is a 3/5 flying legendary snake leviathan for 2 colorless, a green, a blue, and a red, that reads, whenever an opponent draws a card, except the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. When Xyris the Writhing Storm deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. This is an incredibly unique commander, and I love how many different ways Xyris can be taken, and I want to highlight just how many different strategies can be utilized to get the most out of this new commander. The first strategy I want to go over, which is probably pretty obvious, is Wheels. Cards like Wheel of Fortune, Reforge the Soul, and Windfall all allow Xyris to create over a dozen snake tokens in the blink of an eye. Filling our deck with as many effects like this as possible is a sure way for us to win the game as quickly as we can. However, if we're creating 20 plus snakes in one turn, we're going to be pretty threatening, and we'll want to take advantage of our numbers as early as possible. Which is why, along with all the wheel effects, we'll want a combination of flash enablers, haste enablers, or other cards that will allow us to get the jump on our opponents and kill them out of nowhere. Cards like Vidalcanori and Leyline of Anticipation will let us wheel on our opponent's end steps and swing on our turn due to a lack of summoning sickness. And cards like Ogre Battle Driver, Anger, and Fervor will let us wheel and attack on the same turn. And if you want a third way to take advantage of all those snakes right away, cards like Impact Tremors and Perforos God of the Forge will make our wheels hurt our opponents even more. For example, with Perforos on the battlefield, one Wheel of Fortune effect, assuming we're in a 4-player game, will result in 42 damage to every single one of our opponents. A wickedly powerful group of cards, and they should definitely be a slot in almost any build of Xyris. The last way to take advantage of our snakes right away is to use them for mana. Cards like Phyrexian Altar and Ashnod's Altar let us use our snakes as mana instantly, allowing us to chain through our deck using wheels to find our win conditions fast and end the game in one amazing turn. Cryptolith Rite also works very well in this slot, but we'll need our snakes to have haste or wait a turn, risking a board wipe. If you do one-tap, though, you'll have no problem winning the game on the spot. Moving on to the next way you can take your Xyris deck is Group Hug. Allowing you and your opponents to draw extra cards and ramp can let you build up a very large board state without drawing too much attention if you're helping opponents out while also helping yourself. Cards like Howling Mine, Dictate of Kruphix, and Rites of Flourishing allow us to draw extra cards and take advantage of Xyris at the same time, as our opponents will be thanking us for drawing extra cards, but we'll be thanking them because they're giving us an army of snakes that will allow us to close out the game. One caveat of any group hug cards we use, however, is that we should always be the ones benefiting the most. If we don't have Xyris out and our opponents are ramping up and building their board, it might be worth it to not play that Howling Mine out of your hand and to instead look for an answer to their board states first. Not all group hug decks and players play that way though, and if you want to just make the game as crazy as possible with Collective Voyage, Minds Aglow, and Dictate of Karametra, go ahead. Commander is a format where anything is possible and can definitely be a fun style of play. Another interesting way to take our build of Xyris is instead of looking at his abilities, looking at his creature type. Snakes finally have a powerful commander to lead their tribe into action. Cards like Seshiro the Anointed, Orin Frostfang, and Sakura Tribe Elder all finally get a snake commander to lead them into battle. We can even go heavier into snakes and play cards like Coat of Arms, which, while risky, after one wheel, will have hundreds of power worth of snakes ready to drop our opponent's life totals to 0. Also, technically Xyris is also a Leviathan, so if you really like Leviathans, that can also be a thing you could do, but I don't know how much Xyris helps that strategy. It would probably just be for the colors. Now that you know the main strategies of how we want to take this deck, I'd like to go over a couple of hidden gems for Xyris. Cards that haven't been getting enough attention that are incredibly powerful in the right build of our commander. The first one I want to talk about is Wonder. Cards are incidentally going to end up getting discarded with all the wheel effects in our deck, so why not take advantage of that as much as possible? Wonder gives every one of our creatures, including our little snakes, flying, which can completely turn the tides of the game, allowing our snake token army to fly over our opponent's blockers with ease. Next up is Cavalier of Flames. This card is absolutely amazing. It provides a selective wheel effect for ourselves, can be both a haste enabler and a power buff for our entire board, and when it dies, it has potential to do loads of damage to each of our opponents and their planeswalkers if the game has gone long and we've discarded a bunch of lands to our wheels. And for the final card on my picks for hidden gems is Distant Melody. Obviously, wheels are a great source of card advantage and synergize well with our commander, but we don't always want to be giving our opponents a fresh new hand as well. Distant Melody solves this problem by filling our hand up even more than all our wheels could, without the cost of letting our opponents draw as well. And that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what cards you would put in your own Xyris decks, and have a good day. Peace.